بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألف لام ميم أحسب الناس أن يتركوا أن يقولوا آمنا وهم لا يفتنون ولقد فتنا الذين من قبلهم فليعلمن الله الذين صدقوا وليعلمن الكاذبين.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. We welcome ourselves to another edition of our Tafsir. This is going to be the Tafsir 6.0. We thank Allah so far that we have been able to host 5 editions of this particular Tafsir online. May Almighty Allah make it easy for us. Without wasting too much of our time, we have within our midst our lecturer, our doctor. We pray Almighty Allah continue to be with him for finding out his time to be with us. And also we would start, inshallah, we'll start with the Fatiha to begin the program. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim. We would move to the recitation of the glorious Quran, and that will be done by one of our brothers, that is Brother Abdul Qadir, my Tabari. Inshallah, please can you just recite for us some portion of the glorious Quran? Inshallah. Assalamu alaikum. Brother Tabari.
Yes, sir.
Assalamu alaikum. Okay.
You can hear me, right?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وربك أعلم بمن في السماوات والأرض ولقد فضلنا بعض النبيين على بعض وآتينا داود زبورا قل ادعوا الذين زعمتم من دونه فلا يملكون كشف الضر عنكم ولا تحويلا أولئك الذين يدعون يبتغون إلى ربهم الوسيلة أيهم أقرب ويرجون رحمته ويخافون عذابه إن عذاب ربك كان محظورا وإن من قرية إلا نحن مهلكوها قبل يوم القيامة وإن من قرية إلا نحن مهلكوها قبل يوم القيامة أو معذبوها عذابا شديدا كان ذلك في الكتاب مسطورا وما منعنا أن نرسل بالآيات إلا أن كذب بها الأولون وما منعنا أن نرسل بالآيات إلا أن كذب بها الأولون وآتينا ثمود الناقة مبصرة فظلموا بها وما نرسل بالآيات إلا تخويفا صدق الله العظيم.
الله أكبر. Allah Akbar. Allah Akbar. Jazakumullah khairan. We pray Almighty Allah give us the benefit of the recitation. We pray Almighty Allah give us the peace and the tranquility in the recitation. And we pray also that Almighty Allah bless our brother who has given us that beautiful recitation. May Almighty Allah count as out of ibadah in this world and also on the day of Yawm al-Qiyamah. Jazakumullah khairan, our Sheikh. May Almighty Allah continue to bless you for your recitation. Alhamdulillah, we are moving to the next event on the program, That is the main event, and that is going to be the lecture proper. And alhamdulillah, we've known the topic. The topic, as you have known before, it's Ramadan during COVID-19 pandemic, lessons to be learned. Again, Ramadan during COVID-19 pandemic, lessons to be learned. Our lecturer is one of ourselves. That is our doctor. We know him very well. He has been part and parcel of us. He is no other person than Dr. Habeebulah Zakariyah. Is a senior lecturer at the International Islamic University, Malaysia, Institute of Islamic Banking and Finance. In a couple of seconds, we would allow him to take the floor or the air to actually give us the spiritual diet he has prepared for us. Dr. Faryatafadol Mashkur. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shaitan al-Rajim, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Salatu wassalamu ala Rasulil Amin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Ishrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Allahumma la sahla illa ma ja'altahu sahla wa anta taj'alul hazna idha shi'ta alayna sahlan. Amin. Allahumma ya mu'allima Adama 'allimna wa ya mufahhima Sulaimana fahhimna. Allahumma anfa'na ma 'allamtana wa 'allimna ma yanfa'una wa zidna ilma. Amin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. First of all, for giving us this opportunity. He spared our life to witness this Ramadan. We pray may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept it as an act of worship. I would also like to thank all organizing committee, starting from our member president, Dr. Qasim, our highly support and contributions. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be with you and guide all of you and reward you abundantly. Permit me also to use this opportunity and this platform to pray for the soul of our the father of our brother Mu'ad, one of the ESCO, and we know very well for his very humble, proactive in all our programs. We pray may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive his father and overlook all his shortcomings, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant him Jannah al-Firdaus.
Ameen.
Ramadan in this COVID-19 pandemic. Let us reflect about what is actually going on not in Nigeria or in Malaysia, is all over the world. That's what we consider as pandemic. A pandemic is a test from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's a trial to reveal whether we are truly believing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the day of resurrection. Whether we have these values that we portray, whether we are really Muslims or not. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in many verses in Quran, he talk about the theory of ibtila or bala or fitna. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah Al-Ankabut, Alif Lam Mim, أحسب الناس أن يتركوا أن يقولوا آمنا وهم لا يفتنون ولقد فتنا الذين من قبلهم فليعلمن الله الذين صدقوا وليعلمن. And human being just say, I'm a Muslim, I'm a believer, without testing him or her. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala responded, he said, وَلَقَدْ فَتَنَّ الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ. Indeed, we already tested those who came before you. لَيَعْلَمَنَّ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ صَدَقُوا وَلَيَعْلَمَنَّ. You see those who in Tafsir, Lura, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used فَلَيَعْلَمَنَّ اللَّهُ. So lam is for emphasis and nun also for emphasis. So that each one of us, we know our true color. الَّذِينَ صَدَقُوا, whether you are really true believer, and for those who just merely mention it in their tongue without realizing it, it reveals the status of our patient. This COVID-19 reveals the status of our tawakkul, whether we really depend on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or we depend on ourselves. COVID-19 pandemic revealed the level of our hope to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Sifatu raja, al-khawf, whether we really fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Also revealed the status and the level of our kindness and generosity, the level of our solidarity and the unity among us as Muslims. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He mentioned that His test can be with something that we like or something that we dislike. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَنَبْلُوكُمْ بِالشَّرِّ وَالْخَيْرِ فِتْنَةً وَإِلَيْنَا تُرْجَعُونَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sometimes tests you with something that you like. That's why He mentioned in another surah that even our children, our wealth, our family are fitna. With something that we like. He said, وَنَبْلُوكُمْ بِالشَّرِّ وَالْخَيْرِ فِتْنَةً. Sometimes it's something that we dislike. Like we lost, for instance, someone lose his father, mother, children, we lost our wealth. The most difficult part of fitna is when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tests you with something that you like. People don't realize that sometimes when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala opened the door of mercy, the door of rizq, the door of wealth, it's another test from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whether we be thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or not. This is the very tough situation an individual can find in himself. This COVID-19 pandemic revealed to what extent we are very close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we know that there is no any mighty country anymore. All of us, we are all the same in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Especially in Nigeria, if something happened to any of these, the category, they fly to US, UK, Canada, a very developing country. But now, we fly back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. فَفِرُوا إِلَى اللَّهِ. But do we put Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the first list, or we put Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala behind in our last list? So to show whether we are truly believing Allah, we are truly hoping that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can solve our problem or not. So where do we put Allah? This is one of the lessons that we should learn from this COVID-19 pandemic. Al-khawf, al-raja, tawakkul, al-inaba ila Allah. And we know that it's only Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can help us. Ramadan, brothers and sisters, is month of mercy. Of course, we miss many things. We miss Taraweeh, we miss having iftar together, iftar jama'i. We miss i'tikaf in the masjid. We even miss 5 times daily prayer in the masjid. But of course, with COVID-19 pandemic, we know that there are many positive things that we gain from it. Of course, we cannot pray in the masjid because of what is happening, but alhamdulillah, we can pray at home with our family, jama'ah. We can teach our children how to lead prayer. We can teach our children how to recite Quran properly. Fasting linguistically is to avoid doing something or isolating from doing something, which sometimes we say imsak and al-akli wa shurb. This will also we make us reflect that Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and this is one of the ibadah that we miss, forgotten ibadah of khalwa with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, before his prophethood, he used to be in Gar Hira, not for picnic, but to feel company with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Isolate himself. Khalwa with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In this khalwa with Allah, we will find the sweetness of Iman. Of course, there are a lot of benefits whereby we can think about our future, we can identify our strength, we can identify our weaknesses. But at the same time, we feel that we are with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ma'iyyah of Allah. So this ma'iyyah is very, very important. So this pandemic also let us reflect that we forgot a very important and very significant ibadah that Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to perform. Ibadah of khalwa with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And even though i'tikaf is manifestation of this kind of ibadah, inshallah we are going to talk about the i'tikaf and how to we perform i'tikaf in this COVID-19. Ramadan imsak anil akli wa shurb. Avoid to eat which is allowed, avoid to drink which is also allowed. So Ramadan actually also is another test that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us without any restriction, without putting someone to monitor us, whether we fast or we don't fast. So Ramadan is to know whether you prefer Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is more in your side than what you love as human beings. Of course, all of us, we want to eat, we want to drink. But because of Ramadan, because of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and no one is monitoring us, we avoid eating, we avoid drinking. And this is one of the things that we learn from Madrasah Ramadan, the school of Ramadan. Of course, I know that there are a lot of argument here and there among scholars how to perform i'tikaf, perform Taraweeh, whether we can use there is any impact in technology, whether we can perform Taraweeh, listen to video or with internet or not. But the most important thing is that the level of sincerity, the level of khalwa with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Sometimes we used to perform Taraweeh, Tahajjud, but the spirit of Tahajjud and Taraweeh was not there. We converge, we gather, but the level of khushu' that when we recite Quran, the level of khushu' when you listen to Quran, but when you do it alone with yourself, it shows how much you love Quran, how much you are very close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we don't forget that Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he told Aisha, Ajruki adra nasabuki. Sometimes with the calamity and generosity and kindness should be one of the things that we need to practice during this holy month. Not because of Ramadan, but this is the teaching of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ramadan Kareem. And all of us, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to increase us in wealth, but we never try, or we don't try our possible best to share our wealth. Of course, I know many of my colleagues, Dr. Kabara is the expert in this field. But just to share that we need to have this value, this culture of spending. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned that ليس منا من بات شبعان وجاره جائع. And he mentioned that المسلم للمسلم كالبنيان يشد بعضه بعضا. There are many hadiths showing that we have to, or we need to have the behavior and attitude of giving and sharing. In this kind of calamity and pandemic, is very important to channel our wealth and try our possible best to spread, even though a little that we have. It's not about how much you give, but how do we give, and what status, with ikhlas. That's why Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that sometimes 1 dirham is better than 100 dirham. 1 dirham in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can be better than 100 dirham. 1 naira, 10 naira can be better than 1 million naira. For instance, if someone has 1,000 naira and he give his neighbor, his family, or his friend 5,000, means that he share half of his wealth. But if someone has 1 million and he give you 10,000, it's 1%. So 50% of his wealth, and this one share 1% of his wealth. So sometimes it doesn't matter how much, not about the quantity, but sometimes it's about the quality. You share half of your wealth. That's why, like Abu Bakr, Uthman, radiallahu anhu, they bought Jannah when they are still alive. As I said that with COVID-19, we are now in the last 10 of Ramadan, whereby many of us wants to do itikaf. Of course, we miss itikaf. But it's another manifestation that, okay, we miss itikaf in the masjid, but we don't miss itikaf in our house. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he encouraged us not to make our house like burial ground, because burial ground is the place that we cannot make salah, we cannot perform salah. Let us realize that our house is also musalla. I'm not saying that it's allowed based on ulama is allowed to perform itikaf your house, but itikaf is when you isolate yourself, you put yourself in one place. Linguistically, itikaf or kuf, to be in one place. So you can have very specific place in your house, in your mahalla, in your room for ibadah, to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And as I mentioned in the beginning of my talk, is that Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, before his prophethood, he used to be in Ghar Hira for khalwa. You can have the same khalwa because itikaf is another platform for you to have khalwa. That's why Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he used to be in khayma, in the tent, in the masjid. So we can have the same thing in our various places. And itikaf is for us to search for Laylatul Qadr. Yes, you can also do it at home. So sometimes when you reflect on what is happening, you also come back to yourself to how many times I pray at home. Nawafil, even many scholars say Nawafil such as Taraweeh and so on is better to pray at home rather than in masjid. But sometimes because we feel togetherness, we prefer to pray whereby we have many crowds. You know, some also maybe they don't go to masjid that it's like empty masjid, or like few people come to that masjid. They go to very big masjid whereby there are a lot of crowd. But it's less in terms of ajr compared to where you can find yourself, you can have private conversation with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And during these last 10 days, we have Laylatul Qadr. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned that Laylatul Qadr khayrun min alf shahr. Use khayr that is better than worship of 83 years. So it's another manifestation of rahmah, mercy that we're supposed to take. And mercy, yes? Mercy among, no problem. Among ourselves, we share our wealth, and we have very good initiative. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned that Zakatul Fitr is compulsory on all of us. So far you have enough for a day, it is obligatory upon you to pay zakat. And I know that many initiatives have been going on. NISCOM has a platform for those who want to pay the zakat al-fitr. But when we look at zakat al-fitr, why all of us must pay zakat al-fitr? It's actually another thing that we should learn from Madrasah Ramadan, that we're supposed to increase on infaq, spending. Many ulama talk about zakat, waqaf, which is good, and this is our field. But I prefer the concept and the theory of infaq rather than theory of zakat and waqaf. Zakah is compulsory and it's once in a year. Waqaf, maybe twice, 3 times, depend. But in fact, it's every day. And I know Brother Abdul Qadir in Kabara, his thesis on Islamic microfinance. These are the things that we need to emulate and think positive about it, and how can we help our brothers and sisters in Nigeria and in Malaysia as well. One of the things that I propose is that if we can have this the emergency fund, whether under NISCOM or any other platform. So if we have on the heart of that kind of event, and back home, if you have 50 ringgit, it's very enough for family in Nigeria. And these are the things that we need to think of, and we try our possible best to spread among this culture, to spread among us. Zakat al-Fitr can be paid, maybe it's not necessary to pay it with rice or anything eatable, but monetary also is acceptable based on many scholars, or contemporary scholars, and Hanafi school of thought as well. So I think there are a lot of things that we need to reflect on Ramadan with COVID-19. And this is a platform where all of us, we are all scholars. Our president, Prof, also here, Ustaz Kamal, Kaya, so forth. I think you can also share the ideas. أقول قولي هذا أستغفر الله لي ولكم واستغفر فوزا. You didn't mute.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alaikum salam.
Now, how are you? Thank you for sharing. Allah Akbar, ibadah one. Yeah, a small question here. Yes, regarding Zakatul Fitri.
Yes.
So it's possible that sometimes you don't know, maybe you have a relatives, maybe staying with you, or yeah, and possibly this person got Zakat al-Fitr being paid in like 2-3 places. Is it still okay? Like you don't know it has been paid somewhere?
Yeah, actually ulama talk about sa', because Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he used to pay Zakat al-Fitr with sa'. And ulama disagree, how do we measure the sa' of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But what is announced by the Malaysian government and many government is actually the minimum that someone can pay. And especially with this COVID-19, they encourage us to pay more. When we look 7 ringgit, Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam time, star is enough for one person. Not only 1, 2, 3 person, but now 7 ringgit might not be enough. And when we look at the maqasid, the objective of paying zakat al-fitr, Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam mentioned in hadith, he said, biha, so that they can have something to eat, to sustain them, the basic needs. But 7 ringgit might not be enough. So that's why many scholars, they mention that is a minimum that someone can pay. So if we pay more than that, I think this is one of the things that ulama encourage, and it's part of wasari'u. Allah mentioned in Surah Al-An'am, wasari'u ila maghfiratin min rabbikum wa jannatin arduha. So it's a form of competition, and generosity or kindness has no maximum. So we encourage us to pay more than 7 ringgit, 50 ringgit for to pay more. And if we have very good channel, I think it is good. And some ulama allow to rechannel or relocate the money, maybe from Malaysia to Nigeria, but some scholars they don't allow. So what I encourage is that if we have more than 7 ringgit, 7 can be distributed in Malaysia and the rest can be sent back to Nigeria. I think it's a very good initiative if we can do that.
Thank you very much. Jazakumullah khairan.
All right. Yeah, Jazakumullah khairan for the lecture. We really appreciate it, sir. Actually, I have a question myself. You mentioned that for those who are actually responsible to pay zakat al-fitr, they are actually probably obliged to pay zakat al-fitr. And given the current situation we are, that is the COVID-19 dispensation, can we actually give a zakat al-fitr to some of the victims of COVID-19?
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. President.
Okay, so,
Zakat al-fitr, ulama say that in fitr, whether it's only 2 categories. Whether you are recipient of zakat al-fitr or you are paid of zakat al-fitr. So anyone has more than what can be sustain him for each day is eligible, and it's compulsory upon him to pay zakat al-fitr. But if you don't have, or you have less than what can sustain you and sustain your family, you can be a recipient. So I also encourage, if someone you see that so person or so family having very difficulty to get what can sustain them, it's good to channel zakat fitr into them. But I encourage, especially sometimes we pay zakat al-fitr and at the same time we receive zakat al-fitr. Maybe our president, Sheikh Asim, if we can look at this whereby we know who pays zakat al-fitr and we don't give them zakat al-fitr again. So it's like you pay and then you receive from another side. I think if we can channel it very good, it will have impact in the society.
all right, alhamdulillah. Your suggestion is well noted. Initially, you suggested we should have emergency fund, which is actually okay in case of pandemic like this. At least we have something to sustain us. And this particular one you made mention to is okay. Though it boils down more to individuals to actually be sincere with themselves. If you are supposed to be giving zakat al-fitr and you give out, someone is giving you, we will try, inshallah, to cut life. But then I think individual also should be a bit sincere that, okay, I don't need this. You can give me other brother. But inshallah, the suggestion is noted. We actually thank you for your lecture. You said so much. I was offline when I was supposed to do the recap of your lecture. You made us realize that this pandemic is a trial from Almighty Allah, and is a test to show how much we believe in Almighty Allah. You actually made us to realize that it is also to show how togetherness we are in terms of solidarity, and that is actually the true things, because this for particular period sees majority of country closing their borders against each other. So the word brotherhood is a bit we don't know. I don't know how to say that. Is it there or not there? So you are there to actually enlighten us. This close their border, and then we actually solidify within ourselves. You actually make us realize that when we look at Ramadan and the pandemic, we can have some similarities in terms of some activities that we can actually engage ourselves during this period. For instance, we talk on generosity. Pandemic is a situation whereby you have to give to other people who are actually victims of this particular virus. And when we look at Ramadan, so this is the period when we have to give out to. So I think it's a lesson that we can learn during these two periods between the COVID and Ramadan. Another lesson you made us realize is about seclusion. Though we are locked down, I think it's for those who would say, oh, I have to go to work, I can't do itikaf, I can't do this, I can't do that. And then Ramadan says you have to do itikaf. You made us realize that this is an opportunity for us to actually be in seclusion with Almighty Allah. So that these are some of the lessons that I can actually deduce that there are so many of them, but I think along the line I lost contact. So, but basically you made us that generosity and seclusion, it can be converted into ibadah for us. If we utilize those times very well for ourselves, I think we can gain more from it, inshallah. We'll still open the floor, inshallah. If you have more questions, my question is, okay, someone type the question. My question is praying at home and stand close to each other and pray in the mosque with social distance. Okay. The question says, is there to pray at home and stand close to each other, or we pray in the masjid with social distancing? So which one is better, sir? That's the question.
Oh, Jazakallah khair, Jazakallah khair. Very good question, actually. Because some country, some allow that we can have jama'ah, but with social distance. But when you go back to the spirit of salah, and even the spirit of saf, being saf in the era of Prophet Sallallahu Prophet to stay to see whether all saf are really properly arranged or not. And he mentioned in hadith that shaitan used to be in any saf that is there is gap between between Muslims. So it's good to reflect that the saf is very important. Okay. Number two, during this COVID-19, we are not allowed to pray in the masjid. We have this maqasid sharia. We have 5 daruriyat. They consider it daruriyat essential. Number 1, deen and nafs, religion, protection of religion, protection of soul, protection of lineage, protection of wealth, and so on. Ulama mentioned that the hierarchy is deen is higher than nafs, or nafs is higher than deen. Some scholars, they believe that deen is higher and nafs is lower. Immediately after deen is nafs. Nafs is protection of your health, protection of your health, protection of your life. But this protection, we look at it in very with deep concentration. We see that praying in the masjid, jama'ah, is not in the level of daruriyat, essential, but it's level of hajat. Whereas protection of soul in this pandemic is in the peak of the status. So in that sense, ulama, they put health first. That's why you see many fatwas say that we should pray at home, not in the masjid. Why? Because in this, when you use the hierarchy of maqasid, okay, you see that the protection of health and protection of life in this situation is higher than protection of religion. Because protection of religion is not in daruriyat, rather is in hajiyat, the need. But if government asks you not to pray at all, that is in daruriyat. So in that sense, we cannot obey any government saying that we shouldn't pray. Because prohibition of praying, even though at home, is in the level of daruriyat. So it's better, because I have many tazkirah. I mentioned that it's better to pray at home. Number one, because you are protecting your health. And with this COVID-19, we don't know who actually possessed this disease. That's number one. Number two, many people say, okay, we can have many instruments. How many ringgit, how many naira, how many dollars we are going to spend because people just want to pray in the masjid? That's number two. Number three, we need to think positive. Anything that Allah do, anything that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordained upon us, we need to see the positive aspect on it, and the maqasid, the objective. We need to see the objective on that thing. So one of the objectives that we can actually get when we pray at home, we want to inculcate the value of praying. That's number one. Even though in our children, we want to allow our children to see how we pray in Jama'ah. And I will give you this hadith. It's very, very good hadith.
Hadith. Just alerted again that we have 10 more minutes.
Okay, okay. I will conclude with this hadith. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that if someone pray, okay, if you pray 40 days without missing takbiratul ihram, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will grant you two things. The first one, qala bara'atun minan nifaq. Allah will protect you to be among munafiqun, hypocrite. And bara'atun minan nar. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect you from hellfire. In normal circumstances, I tried it many times, I failed. But alhamdulillah, in this, with COVID-19, I managed to do it. Now we 60 days praying in Jama'ah with my children, with my family, without missing takbiratul ihram. So these are the things we must have husnul zan with Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us a lot of things without asking him. How come that Allah will deny us something that we ask him? So it is the husnul zan with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I think because of time,
Yeah, we are so sorry. The previous experience we had used to be that we used to extend beyond 40 minutes. I don't know what happened today. We really enjoyed the lecture, and unfortunately, I think Zoom is not allowing us to actually move forward. Basically, for the question, it is that preservation of life is paramount as Muslims. So we should take that as our priority. Might Allah preserve our life, inshallah, prefer to life. We will not waste much of our time because anytime from now, the meeting will automatically just round up. We thank so much our Dr. Habeebulah Zakariyah for this wonderful lecture. We thank you for your time. We thank you for your efforts. Mighty Allah continue to actually be with you, increase your knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. We pray for your family too. May you have the reward here on this hard surface and also on your Qiyamah. We also actually recognize our professor, that is Professor Rashida, in the house. Your Mighty Allah continue to be with her. She's wonderful. Your Mighty Allah continue to actually bless her too. Actually, we appreciate all participants who have taken their time to join this online tafsir. We're not sure if whatever it is, we'll let you know if we're going to have some other tafsir, inshallah, before the month runs out. Inshallah. We will not waste much of our time. Doctor, we thank you. You can just give us the closing dua, Doctor, sir, so we can just round up. Dr. Habeebulah Zakariyah. Can you just give us the closing dua?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد.
آمين.
اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم. اللهم لك الحمد كله. اللهم بلغتنا رمضان. اللهم بلغنا. اللهم لا تردنا الدين ولا من رحمتك مطردين. اللهم نحن بذنبك واقفون ومن رحمتك راجون ولا تردنا خائبين ولا من رحمتك مطردين. اللهم كما بلغت رمضان اللهم بلغنا منا يا رب العالمين. اللهم اجعلنا ممن قام رمضان ممن احتسابا. اللهم اجعلنا ممن صام رمضان ممن احتسابا. اللهم ارفع عنا البلاء والوباء. اللهم ارفع عن أمة الإسلامية الوباء والبلاء يا رب العالمين. اللهم لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. وها واستغفرك خير من زكاها أنت وليها مولاها. توفنا المسلمين من الصالحين. اللهم وفقنا لليلة القدر يا رب العالمين. اللهم وفقنا لليلة القدر يا رب العالمين. اللهم وفقنا لليلة القدر يا رب العالمين. ربنا هب لنا من ذريتنا قرة أعين واجعلنا للمتقين إماما. اللهم في المسلمين والمسلمات والمؤمنين والمؤمنات الأحياء منهم والأموات إنك يا رب سميع مجيب الدعوات. وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين.
Jazakumullah khairan. Jazakumullah every participant. I wish you a wonderful iftar. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ألف لام ميم. أحسب الناس أن يتركوا أن يقولوا آمنا وهم لا يفتنون ولقد فتنا الذين من قبلهم فليعلمن الله الذين صدقوا وليعلمن الكاذبين.